someone whose primary area of expertise is food justice, local food systems, and sustainable agriculture, I have a special kind of loathing for USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins. Rollins, who is a Texas Republican attorney and Trump acolyte, previously held the position of CEO for the America First Policy Institute. Its goal was to promote Trump's public policy agenda during the Biden administration. A whole bunch of election denier shit where they filed lawsuits challenging election results in battleground states. So she ran that during the Biden years and staffed it with a bunch of former Trump appointees from his first term. And they were all expecting some sweet appointment if he got reelected, and that's exactly what he did, right? He put her in charge of the USDA. She's wholly unqualified for that position. Like so many that Trump has staffed in his government, he wants loyalty over competency. And as with any kakistocracy, assigning incompetent, unqualified people is part of the strategic plan. You break all of the parts of the government so that they're not functioning. Democratic norms are no longer able to be upheld. People can't plan. Autocrats always want you to keep your head spinning, right? They're always creating chaos so that there is no way for you to plan or strategize or to understand the expectations. Democrats like Trump create chaos in order to control you, and that's why they staff people in their government like Brooke Rollins in charge of the USDA. So I couldn't help but chuckle when I was posting something on Facebook earlier, and this came across my feed. Obviously, I had to repost it. I had not yet seen the clip when I saw this post. Trump's Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins today. My message to America is your government is failing you right now. We have failed you. And then, of course, Mike Johnson has to cut in, and I was like, okay, I have to go find this footage. So here it is. Thanks to The Independent for sharing it. I mean, it was on C-SPAN. It's all over. It's gone real viral.
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you right now. That poverty is not red or blue. It is not a Republican or Democrat issue. It doesn't matter who you voted for or even if you voted. That if you are in a position where you can't feed your family and you're relying on that $187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program, that we have failed you. But I think what's so important, and this is why we keep hammering this, the Republicans have voted over and over and over again to open this government so that these funds don't stop. We implore the Democrats in the Senate to vote yes to get this government open and these people the benefits that they need to feed their families.
And it's clarifying. When she says we have failed you, she means we, the Democrats, okay? Because as we've just explained, Republicans have voted 14 times to get this done. The president has pleaded with Schumer and Hakeem to open the government, and they told them no. We're doing everything we can.
I'm sorry. It was too good, y'all. It was too good. Mike Johnson just scrambling there because Brooke Rollins was actually inadvertently truthful at the beginning. Yeah, our government has failed us. And who's controlling our government? Republicans. They're in charge of the House, the Senate, and the White House. They control all branches of government, and they have padded out the courts. SCOTUS is functioning to do the will of the Trump regime. Republicans control everything. So yeah, they are failing everybody. And this nonsense about Republicans have voted to reopen the government. Y'all, Democrats have been there every single day on the floor, and Republicans are just taking a vacation. Mike Johnson has made sure that Republicans work something like 14% of the available days. He's on purpose making sure the government is non-functional. By the way, they're all getting paid. Also, let's not forget that members of Congress get $92 a day per diem for meals. SNAP recipients get a little bit over $6 a day. And Republicans are still getting paid during the government shutdown. Not just Republicans, all members of Congress, they're continuing to get paid, while our other federal workers are ending up in food bank lines. And yeah, when we're discussing what's going on here, we absolutely can discuss the kakistocracy, how the idiots are in charge, the corrupt idiots are in charge, how Brooke Rollins, when we had the egg crisis, and Donald Trump said he would fix egg prices on day one, and he didn't, and they just kept going up. Brooke Rollins said, oh no, every American needs to start keeping chickens. This is an opportunity for everybody in America to keep chickens, even though most Americans live in apartments, live in conditions in which they can't fucking keep chickens. I mean, anybody who's kept chickens, I've kept chickens and ducks for 15 years, can tell you that that's just idiotic. Brooke Rollins is wholly unqualified. She does not know what she's doing. She has no business running the United States Department of Agriculture. And she has the gall to be in this video being like, it's the Democrats' fault that y'all aren't going to get your SNAP benefits. No, girl, that's under your jurisdiction. That's the USDA. In fact, earlier today, 2 judges told your ass that you have to release that emergency money and fund SNAP. You're lying through your fucking teeth, Brooke Rollins. I mean, that's the status quo from the Trump regime. But Mike Johnson did that little scramble there to be like, oh, no, we're blaming this on the Democrats. And do you notice how he calls Chuck Schumer by his last name, but Hakeem Jeffries by his first name? He loves to do that, and I wonder why that is. But just because so many members of Trump's government are complete doofuses who don't know what they're doing, Mike Johnson is a pretty savvy politician. But he doesn't have any material to work with, because what's happening right now with the government shutdown is plain as day, and they're trying really desperately to spin it. But polling shows that the American people are not buying the garbage that they're trying to shove down our throats. The truth of what is happening is that Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. They are in charge of the government. They have all of the power. If the government is not functioning, that is the fault of the people in charge. What the Democrats are doing is holding the line for tens of millions of Americans. They're saying we cannot fund a government that kills 51,000 Americans a year. And the Republican plan will kill 51,000 Americans a year by taking away ADA subsidies and taking away Medicaid from 14 million Americans. Republicans know this. In fact, the Senate report came out way before the big, nasty, bloated budget bill pushing through all these cuts was passed that told all of us 51,000 Americans will die every single year if you push through these cuts in order to give giant tax breaks to billionaires and to spend gobs and gobs and gobs of our taxpayer money on ICE. And Republicans didn't care. They pushed it through anyway. And Democrats find that unconscionable. They are not going to allow tens of thousands of Americans in their districts to die. That's why they're holding the line. So you have to understand what Republicans are doing is they are saying, hey, we're going to starve 42 million Americans. Children are going to go hungry on purpose. We are doing that on purpose. Nearly 10 million elderly in this country will go hungry on purpose. That's what the Republicans are saying. We are perfectly happy to starve Americans as a political manipulation tactic because the Democrats won't let us kill 51,000 people a year. That is the reality of what is happening. Right. I know this quote says satire, but this is functionally describing what Mike Johnson and the Republicans are doing. No food for you until the Democrats let us take away your health care. This is the party of family values. This is the party of we care about our elders. We care about children. Save the children. This is the party of America first, but they're going to take away health care from tens of millions of Americans, and they'd like to starve 42 million of us at the same time. They've got 40 billion of our taxpayer dollars for South American dictators. Donald Trump just remodeled another bathroom in the White House with plenty of gilding around the toilet. Yeah, Brooke Rollins. Our government is failing us. The corrupt regime of Donald Trump and the Republicans who are licking his boots and doing his bidding, they are failing everybody in this country. That's the reality of the situation.